Welcome, welcome everyone. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes and let some people get on. I hope everyone is doing well. And I'm going to go over and make sure Facebook is going to work. So give me just a second. If you're popping on, be sure and say hello. Tell me where you're from. And we'll get started in just a minute. Today is December the 16th, 2024, in case you're watching this in the future. All right. So we are live on YouTube, and I'm waiting on the Facebook to start. So tonight I'm going to be talking about how to use the quill pen and our Silkscreen White, how to get fine lines. Hey, Miss Teresa, how are you? Can you hear me okay? Does everything sound all right? I'm waiting on Facebook to connect. It's supposed to go live on its own, but I'm not sure. Sometimes there's a minute or two difference on it. So anyway, so tonight I'm going to do the Silkscreen White on glass, fused glass. I'm going to show you. I've been sitting here doodling, showing you how if you don't use clear glass, so you can put a pattern underneath it for your snowflakes, that you can actually freehand and put it on that way too. So I'm going to give you some other options of things to do. Okay, thanks, Teresa. Still waiting on Facebook. Not sure why it's not connecting. Hopefully it will in a minute. Hey, Nancy, how are you? Is it snowing in Wisconsin? I think I saw somewhere where it has been. We were like 74 degrees here today in Texas. Crazy. Just, and then the bottom's supposed to drop out in the next couple of days. I mean, when I say that, of course, I'm from Missouri, and Texas people, if it gets, 65, they think it's cold. I like it cold. So, anyway. All right, I'm still waiting on Facebook. I'm not sure why it has not started. Interesting. But that doesn't surprise me. Does it surprise you guys? You just never can tell what it's going to do. You're in Florida going home tomorrow. Oh, so I bet it's going to be cold when you go back home. Okay, so I'm still looking at Facebook and I'm not seeing anything. I'm going to hit the go live and see if it'll let me do it. But I don't think it's going to. It says going live at 7:30, so I'm not sure why it's not letting me do it. Hey, Susan, how are you? Like I said, I'm still fiddling with Facebook, trying to see if it's going to unable to find. I have no idea why it's not. Don't you love technology? I don't. That's that's the one thing I don't like about this. So, anyway, I apologize. I haven't been on for a few weeks because of some health issues. I've got to, while we're waiting on some people to get on, I've got some back problems that I need to deal with, and it's probably because, hey, Christy, I've overdone it over the years, just like most of us that have their own business. You do what it takes to keep moving forward, and sometimes it comes back to bite you. So, yeah, I it doesn't look like Facebook is going to let me do anything. I'm not sure why. So I may have to go on without it. So anyway, I'm doing physical therapy 3 times a week, which takes up a lot of time. I'm going to hit just the go live and see if it'll do that. I don't know whether it will or not. My apologies, guys. You're on Facebook? I'm trying to get the Facebook to do it, but it's not wanting to do anything. You know, it's supposed to go live when you tell it to, and guess what? It doesn't. Yeah, it's not going to work. I'm not sure what its problem is. Okay, so I'm going to forget that. So anyway, so I did put, if you're on YouTube, at the top, I've pinned a post. It's a blog post that gives you pictures of these 2 little dishes. I give you a couple of sheets full of snowflakes. Use them for whatever you want, whether you do glass, ceramic. You can still transfer those designs. You could use them with your acrylics, those of you that do acrylics. So definitely do whatever with them you'd like. They're yours. Okay, so check that out. And I did list the products that I use during this, and I'm going to show you. Let me pop over to that screen real quick. On this screen, this shows you, this was a floral, great big, I think it's 15-inch bowl that I did back in 2020. If you'll notice the difference, the silkscreen white on that bowl, the round piece, was done mixed with clove oil. So when you mix with clove oil, you have a longer drying time, of course, because it doesn't want to dry at all. And you know what? I think I figured out the Facebook thing. Then the one on the right was just with the glaze medium. Oh, I think Facebook just went live. Okay, so hold on one second. So anyway, you can get different effects because yeah, and I've got people trying to notify me that I've got problems now. I know, guys, I'm trying to resolve it, and it's not wanting me to. One more second. So anyway, depending on the look that you want, you can get different effects, okay, based upon what you mix it with, whether you mix it with clove oil, which is the round piece, or if you mix it with the glass medium, which is the other piece. Okay, let me try one more time to connect this and see if it's going to actually work. Stream. Save. Oh, Facebook. I hate Facebook. It just makes me so angry. Go live. It may connect. Who knows? Who knows in a minute if it will or it won't. Anyway, okay. You put a note out there. Thanks, Teresa. I appreciate that. So you can see there's a little bit of difference. The main difference is where you touch the pen first. Because it's mixed with clove oil, it's more fluid and it kind of puddles to give you a thicker area. And then when you pull the pen, you can get the finer points. Okay. So hopefully that you understand. So you can mix with either one, the glass medium or clove oil, and get different effects with it. That's what I wanted to make sure you understood. All right, so going overhead. So this is your PDF that I put out there on the blog. Anytime I do a live, you can find, if I give you patterns or I give you information, a PDF, whatever, it's going to be on the blog. So go to ceramic, go to glass, or whichever I happen to be doing, and you'll find that. So it's got you some of the snowflakes, tells you the products. So anyway, there's information out there, okay, for you. Do with, and it's got this big piece out there also. I wanted to show you this in person. This is a new class that I'm doing out in Arizona coming up in January. And then I'm going to also be teaching in Houston. And in the Houston class, Houston, Texas, will be ceramics, and we are doing a glass piece there also. So if you happen to be in the area or you want to take a class in person, come and join me. Okay. Okay, so I'm reading some comments. Hi there, Ladybug from New York. Everybody's jumping in from all different places. Okay, so these are a transparent piece of glass, so you can see through them. So you could put this down and go directly on that if you wanted. It depends on how transparent your glass is. So I've cut some 4x4s in the colored, and then I've got clear glass also. You want to make sure that you clean your glass with white distilled vinegar. Works best for our products, for Colors for Earth products. Okay, I know that, and I'm 96 COE. Bullseye has a glass cleaner. You can use that, but I still find that this works better for our product. You don't have any repelling of product or anything rolling up and moving on you. Okay, so I just did these in two different little dishes. They're just little trinket. They could even be used as a coaster if you wanted. I thought they were kind of cute. Fun, fun, fun. Or just, you could put some mints or whatever. Cute for kids to have also. So I was sitting here and I was doodling, trying to think of other ways. So if you had, this happens to be opaque blue glass, so you can't see a pattern. And if you were going to make this into a piece of jewelry, you don't want it heavy. So I'm going to show you some options on how you can do that also. Okay, so there's a few that I played with and kind of doodled on, and then I started this one, and I'll finish that up with you guys and show you. So Silkscreen White. We also have a Silkscreen Black. And the first question I usually get is, what's the difference in that and the white enamel? We have added more pigment to the silkscreen because when you normally silkscreen through a screen, not using a quill pen, you're thinning the product out as you're going across it with a squeegee. And so your product needs to be stronger if you're going to get a nice white line. Okay, so we've added more pigment to this is what we've done. It's just a dry powder, just like your enamels. Okay, so you can see that. And then what I've done is put some here in a container, and I've labeled it. And so I had the dry powder, and then I added the GM 300 glass medium to it. And then take your tool and make sure you mix that up and kind of get it fluid. It does need to be a little bit thinner. I wouldn't say 50-50 with the powdered to the medium, but almost. Okay, so it needs to be a little more thinner than normal because of the fact you're wanting it to go on the quill pen and you need it to flow off of the pen. Okay, so we have the quill pens, we have the handles separately, or you can buy the set, and the set comes with two tips, the 512 and the 99. I like the 512, the larger one. That's the one that I use. If you want a smaller, finer line, you can use the other one. Okay, you can buy these separately, but not all pen handles will match, or you'll be able to insert those nibs in there. So keep that in mind. Our older ones, and they change constantly. The older ones were this gray. So I think in the last year we had to change that. So there's a little, and I don't know that you can see that. Let me turn that light down. There's a little area inside here. It's just a circle. And the nib just goes down in that. It just holds it in. Okay. Easy to clean. Something I do want to point out is, do you see you can't see it on that one. We'll do it on the white glass. See that oval shape? So the product needs to be up in that oval shape in order for it to actually flow down. So that's like a well, and then it flows down to the tip. And when you first touch your glass, when you press, I think you can see that, when you press down harder on the tip, those teeth open up, and that's what starts the flow of the product. Now, I don't have anything on here right now. I just want you to see how that works. Okay. And I know everybody on Facebook is going to be upset that I'm not on there, but it will not. I mean, I had it to go live and it is not going. So I'm not sure why It is not doing it. Strange. Okay. Anyway, I just thought I'd check it again. So what we want to do is I'm going to tilt this, I'm going to load it and kind of get it up around that oval. Can you kind of see that? So I want it up there, and that's going to kind of filter it and flow it down. So I'll show you on this more opaque glass. And let me zoom in just a little bit so that it'll be easier for you to see. So when you first touch, you open those teeth up, and that starts the flow of it. So open and then go slowly as you move. Now, it doesn't last forever. You have to constantly reload, touch, open that up, and then go. And sometimes, and I mixed this earlier, and you can see you can get a pretty fine line, but I may need to mix this and add a few more drops because it's been a little bit. So I'm going to add a couple more drops of the medium. Take my tool and mix that in there just to make sure it's nice and fluid. Okay, so let's go to a piece. So on this particular piece here, come in closer. So I'll explain what I did in a minute, but I want to show you with the pen. So I'm going to load it. Okay, can you see how it's loaded all the way up there? So I can come in here. I did this all with a brush, but if I wanted to come in here and pull in lines, so just touch, let that start to flow, and then come out. Do you see how you can just you can add, and I just keep coming back over here, touching. You don't want a bubble of product where it's going to flow down and spill out all over. So you've got to kind of play with it till you get the feel for it. Isn't that pretty? Did you notice I got snowflakes on for you tonight? That's what happens when you're bored and you can't do anything. But yeah, that's what happens when you're ill and you not supposed to get up and do anything. So anyway, I've been doing therapy. Is it working? It's helping, but it's also very painful in some cases. So you guys are going to have to bear with me. I will come on when I can. Right now I'm trying to get myself healthy enough to make the trips that I've got planned to Arizona and to Houston and other places. So, all right. So now that's with the pen you can do. So if I wanted this particular one, this is that larger snowflake. I'm going to wipe that pen off because it'll dry on there and then it will clog up. Okay. So I thought I would show you this guy here to start with. So see how those are thicker there? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a round brush, and this particular one, make sure that's clean, happens to be the Klinsky synthetic round. It's the 5200 number 2. So I'm going to use this for the larger areas, which would be these thicker, so I can press down and then come out to a point to fill in those large areas. Then I can take my pen and do the fine points, so you can intertwine the different tools to accomplish that. And I am going to fold this in half just to make it easier to turn so I can keep it in view for you guys. Okay. Thank you, Teresa. Does everybody understand? Okay, so this is silk. Can you do it with, I know one of the questions is probably going to be, can you do it with the regular enamels? The regular enamels have too much glass in them. You have to work way too hard, and it takes too much time in my book. I don't have the time to spend on it, so I have to find a quick and easy way. And especially you guys, if you're trying to do this to sell, you want to make sure you can do something that, you know, is quicker than what you just want to make sure it's quicker. I'm going to switch over to, if I can find it. I want to show you the side camera so you can see. Okay. Let's get that over here. So I want you to see how I'm doing that stroke. So just put a little bit on the brush, point, pressure to get it larger, and then back up to a point. Okay, so that's giving you that teardrop shape is what you're getting. So let's do that a couple of times. So press, pull, lift, 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 lift to a point. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing those. What are the Arizona dates? The Arizona dates, I leave here on the 6th, 7th, 8th. It'll be the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th at Marjan Ceramics. The classes may be full already. They are ceramic classes. And then I'm doing a one of the clubs, the Sun City clubs, on the 13th or 14th. So I've got 5 days I'm teaching out there. And then the days in Houston are February 1, 2, and 3. And I've got all those posts on my Facebook page. Press, pull, and lift. So check those out. There's phone numbers, links, there's flyers. All of that is out there for you. But I would love to meet some of you and have you in class if you can make it. Or if you have a group that you want to get together, I will do my best to come to you. I will also be, the plan is, unless my back gives out on this longer trip, to be in Atlanta, Georgia for the ceramic show there in Lawrenceville, I believe it is. It's been about 8 years since I've been out there to that show. But I will post the information and it'll be on the calendar on the website. Okay, so do you understand? You see how I did those? Now, these are a little bit thinner, so they're going to be somewhat transparent, but that's okay. You could also do this on the back side. Now, before I forget to tell you, the Silkscreen White cannot be capped with another piece of glass until it's fired. So that's why I put this on the top. Whoops. And then I used the blue, I'm making a mess, blue underneath when I did this on the other one. You see that? Okay. So that's the reason I did that. But I did slift clear powdered frit over the top. So let me go back over here. So on top of any of these that you see out here, I am going to sift clear powdered frit over the top. And then that's okay. But if you cap it completely, you could have some bubbling issues. Susan said she booked this morning and she got into Thursday's class. Awesome. So that's going to be the sunflower one, I believe, right? Sunflower and honey. This one. Not on this particular piece, but I've got it done on a couple of different pieces. But yeah, that's a fun one. I've got a lot of different techniques on that. Okay, so now we're going to go to the pen. I'm going to load that up, make sure it's over that oval area, and then I can come in here and start from what I've already done. And sometimes it takes a little bit to get this going. And I can come out and do my curl. And I'm going to go do all of these from this side. And then I'll come back and do the ones from the other side. So can you see that there? I'm going to zoom back in again. Yeah, it's going to be a big class out there. I think the classroom holds 22. She expanded the classroom for me because it normally was 16 and we had so many people. We started out with 2 days in that class and we ended up, we're now doing 4 days. So there was a great response. I really appreciate that. It's been probably, well, I was back in that area. Actually, the March that COVID shut everything down, I was on my way home when everything shut down from teaching out in Queen Creek at Karen's shop out there. Okay, so just keep working it. Sometimes it dries and I'm under, these lights, which can cause this to dry out a lot quicker also. So whichever one, yeah, I'm going to wipe this off. So it starts to dry in there and then nothing will flow. And that's, a lot of it's the lighting and how hot it is. Like I said, it was warm here today. Very warm. So a little tiny. I know it's kind of hard to see until I put it, but hopefully you can see enough of it. I'm going right over the top of that black line. And then I'll show you how to do some freehand stuff on the opaque. But let's get this on here first. See how just me cleaning that tip off, now it's flowing so much better. So that makes a huge difference. I'm assuming Facebook never did go live. I don't know if anybody went and checked, but it definitely did not. I'm not sure what is going on with it. Crazy. Oh well. I put the link to the YouTube. And you can always go back if for some reason you miss any of the lives and I have a blog post on it. The video is always right there on that page. So utilize that. I try to make it as easy as possible for you guys to find things, because I know I like that. Okay, so you can kind of see the lines. You can always use a toothpick. You can use a Q-tip if you need to go back and clean anything up or scratch anything off, which makes it nice. So you got to go fairly slow with it, which slow is not in my vocabulary, but I have to on this. So I'm just touching what I've already done and bringing it out from that area. You could actually even, you could try to use a toothpick to draw with, but the toothpick is going to absorb the moisture from this mix. So I'm not sure that it's going to flow. You'd be better off using the dotting tool, and I'll show you that in a minute. We're almost done with this. Any questions about what I'm doing? You guys are quiet. So Teresa, did you share it to my page, the YouTube? If you don't mind doing that, that would be awesome, because I can't get to a keyboard to do that. Just share the video over on my page. Hopefully it'll let you do it. Say you're with me instead of, because otherwise I have to approve anything that anybody tags me on. And of course I can't approve it if I'm doing this. I do that because I get way too many things. Okay, one more here. Maybe. And Somebody is trying to get a hold of me. Okay. Did I get them all? I think I did. Okay. So what I'm going to do is take this off. And all I did was roll over a piece of Scotch tape, okay, to adhere that so it wouldn't move around. Isn't that pretty? I had a little bit of the dust. I opened that jar over the top of it, and that was not good. So I'm just going to swish the pen in my water, and then I'm just going to clean it really well. See, you could do little Christmas trees. See those? You could do stuff like that with the quill. The dotting tool is this guy here. So you can take and come in and add dots to this. So let's say I want to just do graduated dots around that area. So when I say graduated dots, that means that everything, I just keep dotting and dotting and dotting, they get smaller, okay? If you load for every dot, you will get the same size dot. So that's kind of fun. So you can add to it, even though the pattern is just kind of a starting point, and then you can add more to it if you want. And of course, you could do this, you know, with ceramic. You could do it with the acrylics. I mean, you can do it with anything. You can actually, with the dotting tool, I have a video out there that you can use the outline, the glass outline white. See, I'm loading it and I'm going back over that so that I can go further. Sometimes you got to clean the tool also, because it gets dry all over that, and then nothing, it just starts absorbing it and nothing wants to come off. So this is the number 3. There's a set of 3 different sizes in the dotting tools. That was too much. I kind of laid it on its side there so that I could get some dots. And I may change my times on doing these lives, because this time of night, after working all day, getting your orders out, my body is screaming. And earlier in the day, now you see that what happened? It all ran together. This kind of makes it look like lace. So I will show you how I will fix that. So I've got pointed Q-tips, and I can take and clean that off. I'm going to take this one off also. And then I'm going to take a clean end. So I switched it to the other end of the Q-tip. I'm wiping it off on a paper towel to remove any liquid or wet. And you could take a toothpick if you wanted. You just need to make sure you get any of that residue off of there. And I'm going to grab another clean toothpick, or I mean Q-tip, to kind of correct that. You were wondering how the glass stayed so firmly in place. Yeah, just a piece of Scotch tape rolled over. Now I've got it. I'm doing it, you know, it's not attached at the moment. But that's all you have to do. So a lot of times, and I started that wrong. I wanted to start it here. A lot of times I will do a lot of work on clear and attach it with the tape, or you could tape it down with painter's tape, you know, just on the edge of the glass where it's not going to cause a problem for where you're working. Okay, so in the middle, I think I want just a big dot of white. So I'm going to use the handle of a brush and put a dot in there. So you can kind of just look at it and build it and keep going. Now, you could take this tool. So this is, like I said, the number 3. It's a really fine point. And you can, well, I say that. We'll see if I can take and literally draw with it. So let's say you don't have a quill pen, but you've got a dotting tool or a stylus. You could do it with that. So sometimes you got to tap it to start it and then pull. So tap, pull. That kind of shakes some of it off and gets it started. Hopefully that makes sense. And that's a little speck we don't want on there. So see, it's already dry on the tip. You have to work fairly quickly. Tap it on and pull. Tap and pull. Tap and pull. So you're pulling from that puddle. Okay, thank you, Teresa. Appreciate it. Like I said, it's still sitting there. It was supposed to automatically go live at 7:30, but I'm sure Facebook has changed something else on us. So we may have to just do YouTube. Isn't that pretty? How that's so I gave you a design, and now you can take and run with it and add. And it really depends on how big the surface is that you're working, how much area you have to fill. But isn't that pretty? Oh, I really like that. That's pretty nice. Okay, so you could come back and put a dot at the end of other things. I mean, there's just, I think I want a big dot right here on there. And you could build this all the way out to the edge of your piece. Nice. I like that. What do you guys think? You like it? You could even come back and scratch designs, but you got to be careful because sometimes it'll chip off what you're putting on. Okay. So you've got 2 or 3 pages worth of out on the blog. Go out there and find those and use them for whatever you want. You've got snowflakes and the pictures of these are out there. So I can come back here and I can add dots. I think I just did that one wrong, but that's okay. This is just, this glass has, I don't think you can see it. It's got like a glittery sparkle in it. It's kind of cool. And let me show you, with the toothpick, it's just hard because the wood absorbs it and it's just not, it just doesn't work for me personally. But give it a try, whatever you guys think. So let me just start one of these and show you how I kind of came up with these. Let's move those down so you can see it. Okay. All right. So I took the liner brush, the 3600 number 2 liner, grabbed my Silkscreen White, and kind of make yourself a focal point. Put a dot where you're going to start, okay? So that you've got something to keep you straight. All right, so what I'm going to do is just press, pull, and lift. So doing just like a little comma stroke, but straight. And then I would do it the opposite and come out. And then, so 12 and 6 o'clock, and now do your 3 and 9 o'clock, basically, is what you're doing. But that gets you a complete, something to start with, and then go from there. So then what you can do is you can start outside and come in. So you have more of like a little teardrop. Load for each stroke. So sometimes like I said, this is opaque glass, so you can't put a pattern on it. You could use the Staedtler Triplus fine liner to sketch something on, but it's going to tint your silkscreen white and it's going to look messy, although it fires off, but you could do that if you wanted to. Okay, so I'm going to stop with the brush, and then I'm going to go back to the quill. I'll load that up. And if that starts to get too thick, then you need to stop and thin it. So then you can come in here and say, all right, I want to outline this. So nice and slow. See that? So I'm just building it on what I've got there. So you just kind of look at it. You can look at some of the different, designs on the paper and kind of see, different patterns that you could work with. It gives you some ideas. Doesn't mean you have to do it. Hey, Karen from New Zealand, how are you this evening? You like adding the dot? Yeah, I mean, just adding the dots is, it's amazing what happens. I mean, it almost looks like lace now, doesn't it? I think it does. That's pretty cool. It's always nice when I surprise myself. So if you didn't have the Silkscreen White, you could use the Designer White, the DZ series, DZ 202. You do have to cap that on the first firing because the medium only extends it, and when it burns off at about 800, it's gone, and that product is just floating there. But it could be, you could even use the color concentrate white. So you could use concentrate white. You could use the designer white. Now this would already be liquid, and then you'd have to mix your designer with the medium. Okay, so there's other ways to do it based upon what you have. You don't have to buy a whole nother product. I'm just showing you a use for that product. Okay, so I can tell you already that this is dried on there. If I stop and talk and don't keep working, I have to come back and clean that and then reload. And like I said, the lights are hot and it dries it out quicker. So Karen, over there in New Zealand, I know you've ordered before. You can always get Warm Glass UK to order in product for you, and then you can get it from them if you don't have, enough to do an order on your own. Okay, so on the ends of these, if I wanted to come out and make those little arrow type points, so just build it. What do they say? Build it and they will come. Build it and it will snow. Yeah, we probably won't get any snow. Who knows? We might. Once in a while we get some snow here. I like snow. It's just these people from Texas don't know how to drive in it. Sorry, Texas. Those of us from other places do know how. I am not from here. I've just lived here for how long? Ooh, 30, 31 or 32 years. I am from Kansas City, Missouri. Anybody from that area that's on? All right, so see, you can just keep building it. And I've done that with these. Now I think I'm going to just go in with dots like I did on this one. So I'm going to rinse that just by swishing it in the water and then taking a paper towel and cleaning both sides so that nothing dries on that. So I'm going to go back to the dotting tool. Hey, Sharon, you resemble that? Being a snowflake, you resemble? US has got some expensive. Yeah, the postage is crazy. So I just tapped it, so I'm loading it. This is the dotting tool or a stylus, and then tap it off to create that dot of color. So once again, this is the Silkscreen White that I'm using. So how is Monday nights for everybody? If I switch to Monday nights, or like I said, I may switch to afternoon. I'm not sure yet. It kind of just depends on my body, what it says. I have jokingly told a few people that this could be my farewell tour, everything that I'm doing up until May, because my schedule is crazy. I want to do it, but that doesn't mean I can do it, you know? All right, so if you tap up here and then come down once again, I'm just kind of tapping to shake it off of my tool, so to speak. So tap, 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 and tap. Isn't that pretty? So you can make it as intricate. Sorry, need to start up here. I got to quit talking, and I need to follow my pattern that I'm trying to create, right? So tap, tap, tap. If you keep going, they get smaller and smaller. Retreat time. Yes, Miss Sharon Hoppy here in the, not too far from me, like 20 minutes or so. She is building a place to be able to host seminars. And I'm going to work with her, and you can come to Texas and do classes with me and her, or both of us at the same time. She does clay and glass also. So watch for that. Hopefully, you think by summer we'll be able to announce anything, Sharon? It just kind of depends on how everything goes. They still have to get their building, but I can't wait. Monday evening works for me. Oh, yeah, I forgot about it. Yeah, see, there's so many different mediums, whether it's acrylics or it's other clay people or other glass people. It's hard to, and I was on Tuesday nights before a lot of people, but I compete, and so I'm thinking of switching it up a little bit. We'll see. So another thing that you can do, let me go back over to this one, is you could take and dot and pull down. So it's like you could make a comma stroke with, let's see if I can make this work, with the dotting tool, which is kind of fun. Pull. I'm going to move my finger out of the way so you can kind of, don't have enough on it. Dot it, shake it off, and then pull it down. So it's a cheater way to do a small comma stroke, basically. But isn't that fun? I mean, there's just, your imagination is your limitation. For sure. So Sharon says the electric meter goes in this week, the building arriving this week also. All right. So hopefully give us a few months to plan some things, and we will update you. And that would be so much easier on me and my back. So whether you want to know it or not, I don't know. But what's happening is I have degenerating disc that was passed to me from my mother. And they're in my neck and my low back. And my low back is the worst, stage 3. And if I don't do something about it, it could just end me completely. So I've got to start taking care of me, and I don't do that very well. I miss you guys. I love you guys, but I need to think of that also. All right, so what do you think? A dot on the end of these, I think. So I'm kind of going back and forth. I really, really like this one. Now this is kind of semi-transparent, so you could put a pattern underneath this, you know, if you wanted. You can kind of see it. So it all depends on the glass that you're using. Like I said, I like to do it on clear so I can have a pattern and then back it. And then I would sift clear powdered frit on this piece just to eliminate any bubbles. I go all over one time and then I go one other time around the edge. And then I would put this piece on it and I will sift clear powdered frit over the top of this. And that will encase it and give you that look. So the difference here, so I used the tip of my brush to put the dots, so you see how much darker those are compared to the pen. So maybe you want to do that instead. So you could come in here and we could use the tip, pull it, and pull it out from there. You know, you can, I mean, you can probably use what's even right there and just keep, that's kind of pretty. Okay. So there's just so many things that you can do. Play with it. If you load for each dot, they should be the same size if you load the same way each time. And then if you keep dotting, remember what I said, it gets smaller and smaller. Okay. Anything else you guys want to see on these? Just, I mean, this started out as the brush for the, let me get the toothpick. So I brushed from inside out like I showed you a minute ago, and then I brushed this one going in, and then I came in with the quill pen and did the lines, and then I just added the dots on there. This one, I actually used a square shader. So that would be, I'm going to use this piece of glass. And we've got a light that's reflecting off of something. Let me move this down so you can see that. All right, so I will load this square shader with the color. Same thing, you can put your little dot as a focal point, and then I just did what I call a wedge stroke. It's a leaf or a petal. I mean, there's, you know, you can use it for, and I just came in, and I do load for each stroke on this. So even if you wanted to do, if that was a flower and now you wanted to do little leaves and you wanted them to be softer, you can do that. And then you could come in with your liner brush and get it over here, the color. And you could come in here and make lines if you wanted to do an actual flower versus a sunflake. I'm okay. Snowflake. I got sunflowers on my brain with doing, I have done so many of those. And I still don't have a kiln working yet as far as my ceramic kiln. I'm still waiting on the repair guy. He's told me he was going to be here for 4 days now and hasn't made it. So anyway, so there's just all kinds of things you can do with it. Any questions, guys? Anything else you want to see? Like I said, you can use the silkscreen. You can use the designer white the same way. I mix some of it up. So it just depends on which one you have. I'm just remixing. And it works the same way as the other. Of course, you need to hold on to your glass. And you may find that one works better for you than the other. You can sign it you can sign pieces. So if I wanted to actually sign my name, now I can tell you that the design, this is the designer, which comes in the little baggie. And then I mixed it with the GM 300. This is flowing on really nicely. So each product has its pros or cons, just depending on what you have. I just wanted you to know that you can use different things for it. Like I said, you can even use the color concentrate, put some of it in a well and use it on pieces. And I did a video not that long ago showing you the differences in those with the same pattern. So go back and watch that, and that'll give you that information. Okay. All right. Let me switch back to me. I don't look too good today, but anyway, any questions before I go? I just wanted to show you how to do these. I hope you have fun with it. Hopefully you like it. You could do them in different colors. Maybe you don't want a snowflake, but you could make it look like lace and do around the edge of a plate. I mean, there's so many different things you could do. Okay. All right, guys, I am going to sign off for tonight. And I'm not sure that I will be back on before the end of the year. So Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope you enjoy your family. Have a great time. Stay warm. And I will probably go live when I get to Arizona. I'll be out there. I'm driving the 6th and 7th. I'll be there on the 8th to unload and set up. So I will do a live in the studio and kind of show you things out there. But then it'll be a little while. I'll post when I'm going live. Okay. All right. Take care. Happy painting, guys.